Hello, this is ACI with a video tutorial on how to submit a Hinged Memory Book order. First, you'll want to make sure you have launched the ordering software and are logged in on the right-hand side. Next, you will click on Books to the left. This will bring you to a brief information sheet on our books that we offer. So we have our memory books, Econo lay flats, and accordion books. We are covering memory books today. So we do have two options here. We have our hinged and non-hinged. The difference between the two is that our hinged lays completely flat and none of the image is lost within the spine. Our non-hinged, you do lose about 1/8 of an inch of the image within the spine, so we would not recommend building in full spreads with our non-hinged. Keep in mind, there is a minimum of 20 pages for our hinged and then a maximum of 70. We'll go ahead and click on Memory Book Hinged to the right here to go ahead and start. And then this will bring you to another important information sheet with regard to our hinged memory book. So first, you'll want to make sure to choose your size. So you would toggle over here to select your size, choose your cover, load your pages, and review your cart and add paper types and other options within the cart. Once again, there is a minimum of 20 pages or 20 sides. So if you were to build in full spreads, so let's say you have 10 full spreads, you would meet that 20-page minimum just because one full spread is technically 2 pages. Another important thing for our memory books is that our memory books start with a single right-hand page at the very beginning and end with a single left-hand page at the very end. So if you were to build in full spreads from front to back, your pages would be printing front to back. So that would be the incorrect way to order these. So once again, make sure to read this important information sheet before you start ordering. That way you know how to order properly. So to start, we'll go ahead and toggle over and pick the proper size we were wanting to work off of. So the one I'm building is an 8x8. So the first option that it comes to is the covers. So I've already designed my cover within Photoshop. So I'm going to select the 8x8 hardcover blank, which is the very first one. You can see that there's not really any nodes or anything that we can fill in here to design it within the software. Everything was done outside of the software using our Photoshop template guides. So if you're needing those guides, there is usually always a link in the bottom right corner that you can click on and it'll download a zip file for you that you can use to locate our Photoshop template guides and then place your image within there and design anything in there. Just make sure to turn off all guides before flattening your file. If you don't turn off your guides, there would be a yellow bleed outline on here and also a dashed line for our live area on your final flattened JPEG, which you do not want on there because once you drag it in the software, you might not be able to see it on here just because there's already a bleed on the template, but if we print it that way, that bleed will show and then more than likely show even after the trimming process, and then that requires us to give you a call and let you know they've been printed with the guide left on. So once again, make sure to turn off all guides before flattening using our Photoshop template guides. We do have other styles over here, so these styles allow you to essentially design within the software. So all these nodes are ones you can drag in an image. You can adjust font colors, background styles to whatever the software allows. And then we do have soft cover options. So the soft cover blank is essentially the same as the hard cover blank. It's just that cover is not a solid cover. It's more pliable. And then you do have one style option to fill in nodes or design within our software. And then if you scroll down just a bit, you do have an art cloth cover, leather options, and starline or velveteen options. With these, you only get the options for the cover. You do not get to add an image with it, like have an image on the front and then have leather on the side and the back. That is not an option here. If you select any of these leather covers or velveteen, the entire cover is that leather or velveteen or whatever you choose down here. So we'll scroll back up to that hardcover blank and drag in our cover. So my cover is right here, and I will drag it up. You can see nothing moves here because I designed it within Photoshop, so I know it is to the exact dimensions we are looking for. You can see my text and all my important elements that I don't want cut off are within the bleed area and within the trim. So I'll go ahead and add this to my order. and you can see my cart amount jumped up to $27.84, which is that cover price. So once we have that cover in there and it's added to my cart, I'll go ahead and tab over to the Pages tab. So once again, you must start with a single right-hand page and end with a single left-hand page. So I've already selected a blank right side because once again I designed my pages within Photoshop, so they've already been pre-designed. Otherwise, if you do want to design it within the software, you can scroll down just a bit and use our styles. So all of our styles are built as singular pages. So if you wanted, let's say, style 0190 as your single right hand page at the very beginning, you can definitely use that because these are all singular pages. I've already designed it within Photoshop, so I'm just going to select the blank one at the very top, the right side blank, and drag in my right page. And you can see once again all my important elements are within the bleed and won't get cut off. This design will, just because it's been designed that way to kind of fall off the edge. And I'll go ahead and add it to my order. And now I'm wanting to add my spreads within here. Once again, I designed these within Photoshop, so they've already been pre-designed. If you do want everything to be designed within the software, you would just essentially pick the styles down here and select whatever you'd like. Just make sure they are in order in the cart, in a chronological order of how you're wanting it to print. But if you have full spreads, you would just click this full spread option. It once again gives you an information sheet on the right hand side telling you you must start with a single right page, and then your full spread would be in the middle, and then you must end with a single left hand page at the very end. And then we also do provide you the bleed information, trim, live area, and also the overall image size and final product size. So I have all of my full spreads down here at the bottom. So they're all essentially the same exact image. So I can go ahead and drag them all individually, but that would be very time consuming. The quickest and most efficient way you can do this is by clicking one and then holding down your shift and then clicking the last one. You can see it selects all of the full spreads that I'm wanting to drag in there. Since I already know these are built within Photoshop and I know that they're already at the exact dimensions I'm needing, I know that they're all going to fall into the proper areas and nothing important is going to be cut off. So I'll go ahead and click one of them and just drag up. It'll pop up with a window asking, do you want to add all these in? We'll click yes. And then we'll go back over here, and then we will select our blank left hand side page. So once again, remember you have to start with a single right hand page at the very beginning and end with a single left hand page at the very end. So I'm at the very end of my book. I've already added my single right hand page. I've added all my spreads. So I'm at the left hand page. So I will select my proper one and then drag it up. And then I will add it to my order. So I will go up to the cart to view my cart. We can see my cover at the very beginning, my single right hand page right after the cover, and then my full spreads, and then my single left hand page at the very end. So you want to make sure the quantity on all of these are set to 1, unless for some reason you're wanting, let's say, a full spread being duplicated within here. You can definitely do that, but usually everybody just wants a single page to be a single page. So you can go through here and make sure all of these are in the proper order. So let's say number 10 here is actually supposed to be before number 9. All you'd have to do is select the 3 lines to the left, click that, hold, drag, and move it up. And you can see it'll move it around. It'll look like it's not really any different, mainly because my full spreads are exactly the same, but yours will probably be different full spreads. So just make sure that they are in the proper sequence you're wanting it to print and be in the proper order once it is printed. So once again, I have my cover, my single right hand page, all my full spreads, which I know are designed to the proper dimensions, and then my single left-hand page. So to the right, we can add other options here. We can add coating, so we can UV coat these pages. We can do a 6-color upgrade, which I definitely recommend if you're wanting those colors to really pop. You can add texture options. I'm not going to add any here. We can add page gilding, which I think would look pretty nice here, so I'm going to add a ruby gilding. And then your paper type options. So I'm just going to leave mine at the 100-pound heavyweight hinged. And then we can select more copies if we need it. So I only really want one copy, so I'm just going to leave it at that one. But if you are needing multiple copies, you would just select it accordingly. And then you have your standard additional options, and if you're wanting a CD, presentation pouch, etc., we do have our $5 color check if you're needing that. But otherwise, if you do your own color correction at home, we would recommend just submitting it that way and not selecting this $5 color check. You can select it for us to go in to view it, but keep in mind if our color correctors deem it necessary to do color correction, they will go ahead and do that, and it would be $15 per quarter hour. Usually we do not call to let you know that we are going to go ahead and do that. If you are wanting us to let you know, you would just have to state it in the special instructions that you would like a call before any color correction is done. And then you can fill in that special instructions if you need it. Otherwise, you would just uncheck that. Keep in mind, if you fill in any special instructions, it can delay your order because it goes to customer service. You can select a dropship if you need it to go directly to your customer. And then we would fill in our reference text area here. So I'm just going to fill in test memory book. You would essentially type in maybe your client's name here, any way to help identify the order if you for some reason forget the order number on your confirmation page that you would get emailed to you. And then you would scroll down. Please make sure to read the copyright notice. And then after reviewing your order, you would go ahead and initial, and then you would hit complete order. And then it would always pop up with the account information page. But overall, that is how you would submit a Hinged Memory Book order. If you have any questions regarding this, definitely give our customer service department a call at 1-800-728-2722. Thank you.